Welcome to Raw Image Society, tips and photo sites from Hong Kong. Okay, just arrived at Hong Kong and exited the immigration customs and immediately the tourist board. So let's go and pick up some maps and also whatever recommendations they may have. So I just arrived in my hotel room and what an amazing view. So I'm in the Ibis Hotel. I wish I could tell you the actual name of the precinct I'm in here. So here's one tip I can give. So once you've decided on your hotel, and I'll go into some details on actually selecting your hotel, but once you've selected it, actually just send them an email, tell them that you're a photographer and you'd like a room with a view. That's what I've done here. That's what I did at Shenzhen, and one for one. This is an amazing view. Now you probably can see the reflections off the windows and daylight, and I don't think I'm going to be able to resolve that now, but I certainly can do something this evening, and again we'll try that later. So tip number one, contact the hotel, ask them for a room with a view, tell them you're a photographer, and they're probably thinking, okay, he's going to post some photographs, we want to make sure that we show him the best, and it's worked. So some may say that when you're organizing a tour like this, you should have your plan well organized ahead of time. And I can understand the thinking there, but I actually don't think that's the best approach, and here's my reason why. First of all, you can't account for the weather. Well, many places the weather can be variable. There are some places, of course, where you can account for the weather. You know exactly how the weather's going to be. But in Hong Kong, this time of year, this is August, and it's in the middle of, I think, their rainy season, and the forecast was showing thunderstorms, heavy rain, and as you can see behind me, that is certainly not the case. There's some good clouds around, which is going to make for terrific photos, I hope. But anyway, the weather was a variable which I couldn't account for. And the second thing is renovations. And I've had it happen too many times where, you know, I set out for a particular objective, get there to find the thing is totally surrounded by metalworks, boards, whatever, and you just don't get to see the thing. And that's been the case here as well. One of the things that I'd seen online, which I thought I had to go and do, is a place called the 10,000 Buddhas, asking at the tourist center, and they told me that you can't enter, it's under renovation. So bang, there goes the plan I would have had to incorporate the 10,000 Buddhas. So anyway, now I've got some ideas of what I want to do. A couple more tips. One, if your city, your location has a subway, metro, then take full advantage of that. It's going to be much easier to get around, and probably more cost effective to get around. Second thing is many of these cities have the buses, the hop on, hop off buses, and it's something that I use quite a lot. And it's a great way just to find the locations you want to return to, maybe for a sunrise or sunset shot. So look into that. They're typically quite good value. You check online, you can probably find coupons. Another tip, once you actually get to your hotel, don't rush to get out and start photographing. Just decide on what your approach is going to be, what your plan is going to be for the day, for tomorrow. You're going to see far more by taking that approach than rushing out and wanting to get shots straight away. Okay, so one of the iconic things to do in Hong Kong is to take the Star Ferry across to Kowloon. So here we are at Pier 7, and I'm going to do exactly that, so that I can go over to Kowloon and watch the light show over the buildings of Hong Kong. It's one of the highlights apparently. So if you're going to take the ferry, so there's an upper deck and a lower deck. Be careful you don't take the entrance for the lower deck. I think the upper deck you're just going to get better views, and I ended up taking the wrong entrance, having to turn around, and anyway, got it all figured out eventually. But yeah, just make sure that you're taking the right entrance for the correct deck. So arriving early to check out where to go for the light show. So from the Star Ferry, it's just a 2-minute walk, and I'm on a upper deck of I'd say an observatory platform. And I just asked somebody, he said the light show is across here, spanning these buildings. If that's the case, I'm going to need a pretty wide angle lens, but at least I know the location. I've got some ideas now. Okay, light show complete, and I have to say vastly overrated. I'm going to be polite and say it was poor. I could be a lot more critical, but I'll refrain. But waiting 1 hour to see that show, no, not recommended. So yes, up at 5 o'clock for the sunrise shot, and there's amazing glow in the clouds already. You can just see the light developing behind the buildings there. So I would add this on my list of things to do, is come down to the water's edge, sunrise, and get your shot. Certainly improvement over some of the things I saw yesterday. The light show, Guinness Book of Records, it must go in the most overrated performance. Yeah, enough said. The bridge over there looks very promising, and I did get a postcard that, yeah, looks like that is a potential option, and I'm wondering whether I don't try and get there very early tomorrow morning if the MRT's running, and try and get sunrise shot along the bridge. I don't know whether it's going to be possible. The next area to visit is the Old Town Central, leading us to the Peak Tram up to Victoria Peak. One item highly recommended is a visit to the Man Mo Temple. Okay, Man Mo Temple. For photographers, it's a must visit. Some incredible scenes inside. It's only small, so there's going to be people probably wandering around. But again, the colours, the views inside there, you just got to add that on your list of things to do. I'll certainly be sharing some of the photos that I took there. Easily spent 45 minutes, could have spent an hour, but again, just so many people there. So if there's only one thing to do in Hong Kong, I would highly recommend going to Victoria Peak. The views are incredible. So my next tip, the queues to take the tram up to Victoria Peak can be excessive. You can be waiting over 90 minutes. When I was there, it was 2 hours. The taxi to take you to Victoria Peak is less than $10. Tip number 2 is to actually return, then take the tram. And I left while the light show was midstream. I'd seen it the evening before, and most of the people are watching the light show. So when you get to the line for the tram, it's going to be much less than if you leave 30-40 minutes later. The Big Buddha. So absolutely added to your list of things to do. The journey itself in the cable car. So first tip, take the crystal option. It gives you a glass bottom in the cable car as you're going over the water, over the forests. There's some pretty good shots to be had there. Again, I'll look to include them. And obviously for a photographer, pretty soon some good options. So once up here is a 5-minute walk from the cable car terminal through to the Big Buddha. And I think there's, I heard 260 steps to get to the top. So well worth going up there. There's a viewing platform. You can look around, look over the islands. So yeah, strongly advise the journey. The 260 steps, particularly in these conditions with the heat and humidity, pretty tough going, but it's worth braving through. So the trip up here in the cable car is well worth it in itself. As I suggested, paying the extra to get the crystal cabin is well worth it. And you see the views below, and I'll include some footage of that. But seeing the views around Hong Kong, you see some of the islands around here, and of course the principal goal coming up here is to see the Big Buddha. I just didn't have time to go and see the temple, which is adjacent to it. I need to get back, and I still want to do the city with the trams. So in summary, it's been a great 2 days. I've not even been here 48 hours. So to close, in 48 hours there's so much to see and photograph in Hong Kong. I'd highly recommend Victoria Peak. The views during the day and during the evening are spectacular. Take the crystal cable car up to the Big Buddha. You won't regret that. And a walk around the old town and visit the temple. And don't forget the trip on the Star Ferry, seeing both sides of the harbour. I'd welcome feedback, and if there's any additional spots that you recommend, I really would appreciate understanding that. By all means subscribe, because I'll be doing more cities. I've got a backlog that I wish to add. And visit rawimagesociety.com, and for many of the photographs that I've shared, you'll find the GPS coordinates. So I hope this has been beneficial. I look forward to feedback from you. Thank you. Goodbye.